Good morning, Admirals, senior leaders of the United States Navy. I'm Lieutenant Commander Jim Rogers. Thank you for dedicating time to this important initiative today. This is Fitness for Future, Excellence in Activity, or F3EA. Appreciate your time, and I'm honored to be here. While you take a look at the agenda, I'll give you some background on the F3EA initiative. It will revolutionize and replace the current physical fitness standards and testing in the United States military. Think of data captured from a Garmin with a virtual personal trainer, all on a secure platform. You should care because $3.6 billion are spent every year on health complications related to inactivity for military members and retirees. This budget covers 9 million, 2 million active duty and reserves, and 7 million retirees. There are many commercial applications out there that do something similar, but none of them are private and secure and provide the military members the protection that they require in their everyday lives. F3EA is different because it is a secure platform. Each military member is provided a commercial physical fitness wearable integrated with a secure custom platform, and also given the education necessary to instill lifelong exercise habits and increase activity. I'm asking for $12.5 million spread over 3 years to develop the application, integrate it with the wearable, and begin rolling out in the community. So obesity is a concern in the United States military. The numbers up on the board are 19% of military members are obese. Numbers haven't been published this year, but it's trending upwards, closer to 22. 30% of retirees, much like a snapshot of the United States population, are obese. 1 in 3 recruits do not qualify for service due to obesity. In fact, the Navy suspended past physical fitness failures in 2022 to aid retention. Historically, if you have 2 physical fitness failures in a time period, you're administratively separated from service. But it's not only obesity that we're concerned about. 87% of muscle and skeletal injuries are from overuse, excessive training, and excessive exercising. And I stated before, commercial applications are just not secure enough to track all this data, give the members the information they need, and then keep it away from public eyes. What will F3EA do? Number one, it'll improve the wellness of the force. By providing physical fitness activities that are attractive, achievable, and easily activated, it will turn physical fitness into something the members are looking forward to rather than the dreaded 5 a.m. alarm clock that you have to meet on the track. Improved wellness is going to improve mission readiness. Not only are we going to reduce healthcare costs, improve physical fitness, but also the mental side that comes along with that too. Improve production in the office, cut down on lost work days, increase camaraderie, culture, and values of military members. It'll also improve retention rates by increasing physical fitness activity. You're lowering your obesity, you're lowering physical fitness failures, you're also improving the culture, improving retention, and improving recruiting efforts. If we can provide this to recruits on the forehand before they join the military, it's an opportunity to make those 1/3 that are not qualifying eventually qualify. Secondly, it reduces cost. I mentioned the $3.6 billion in healthcare costs that are attributed to inactivity. That's $1.5 billion for active duty. The direct cost. The indirect cost is the 650,000 lost work days due to health complications with obesity. This is not only lost production in the office, lost production on deployment, but also extends training time. The numbers for F3EA are backed by $2,000 in medical costs per year that are attributed to inactivity per member. It also reduces efforts for commanding officers and personnel. This is not going to change with F3EA, but right now, commanding officers are responsible for their members' physical fitness. What does that mean? They're devoting personnel to come up with a program. They're devoting personnel to run the program, to test members, and to upload all that data. F3EA takes care of all of that for you. And it's also a private and secure platform where the Navy owns the data and it's not shareable. The opportunity, as discussed, is the 9 million service members, active and reserve, and also retirees. We boiled that down to the 300,000 United States Navy, and it's why I'm here talking to you today. Each service is responsible for their physical fitness program, and F3EA is concentrated on starting with the Navy. And then further boiled down is the 25,500 members of the information warfare community. That community was picked because, number one, I'm a part of it, and number two, 85% of the workload is done behind a desk. So doing 2 minutes of maximum push-ups does not make them better at their job. The information warfare community consists of cryptologic warfare personnel, intelligence professionals, meteorologists, and IT professionals. Competition over on the left, you can see that it is stacked full of competition. I'll start with number one, United States Navy, the current program right now. So long-term fitness programs tailored to individuals' current fitness levels. Right now it's a one-size-fits-all. We're all gonna meet on the track, we're all gonna do the same exercises, and we're gonna be led by somebody who's doing this as a collateral duty. So not an expert fitness professional, but just someone that was identified as, you look like you're in pretty good shape. Next one, Garmin. Right now, as we speak today, the Space Force is actually running a 2-year test with Garmin as their partner to use all Garmin products. However, during this 2-year testing period, they're not allowing deployed members to take part in the test because of privacy concerns. F3EA removes all those concerns by having the Navy own the data and have it on a secure platform. Self-regulating, you can take any of those other fitness applications on there. I go on, I pick the workout, I decide what I want to do. So if I want to lift heavy legs every day, 5 days a week, regardless if that's the right thing for my current physical fitness and my historical performance, I can do that. F3EA will take your current physical fitness, what you've done in your recent past, and provide you with the logical next steps on what to work out on. It provides professional activity and rest levels. So we talked about the 87% of overuse injuries. F3EA cuts down on that. You've worked out legs the past 3 days, or you've ran for the last month straight. You probably shouldn't do that. This is what you should do instead. Go to market. So you've received my business plan. I'm here presenting to you today. Upon approval, we'll move from our sales initiative to our marketing initiative. This includes closed circuit television, advertising on military dining halls all over the country, Navy Times articles, community-specific social media, and then educational courses on an e-learning platform. Here's the financial summary. This is based on a few assumptions. The $2,000 healthcare savings per year for users. So obviously not every user is going to realize $2,000 per year. So you took that number, divided it by 12, and then took 30% of that. That equates for the 20% that are currently obese. There's population that's undocumented, that's not obese, but not in currently good physical health. And then there's also the reduction of the injuries. The fitness wearable on here is expensed over the 1 to 2 years where it's purchased for each community. In reality, those expenses are going to drop off because it's a 5-year average period that a fitness wearable is lifespan. Savings must be invested back into F3EA for it to be successful. Success factors, this is built on 95% success rate over time. The way we got that is upon your approval, an order will be issued. When that order is issued, 95% of the community is going to follow the order and begin using the product. Of those 95%, 70 of those we plan on being successful. The missing gap there is where the education and continued marketing comes into play to bring them up to success. 19% is the break-even point to save costs beginning in the 5th year. So ask the next steps. I'm asking for $3.5 million guaranteed over the first 2 years, and then a $5.5 million program option in year 3. Those are strictly based on expenses and cost of goods sold, assuming that there's no savings on healthcare during that time. The $5.5 million is a program option because in year 3, F3EA is projected to be successful, and the healthcare savings can then be reinvested back into the product to continue on. Next steps, $200,000 to develop an Apple and Android mobile application in 1 year, $1 million to contract a fitness wearable by year 2, and $6.1 million for hiring, marketing, and education development over the first 2 years. Thank you for your time today. I really appreciate it, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have on anything I've covered or things that I haven't.
Sure. That was a very interesting presentation. Well done. I'm wondering if you can explain to me what is a fitness wearable. I think of my watch, but I also think of sneakers and other items, and perhaps you can.
That's a great question. I also thought of your watch. So this picture here on the front page, the watch there on the left is what we're going after. But it is a good point that it can expand in future years to do something that's not a watch. A watch could be hazardous in certain situations. Think of on a ship, in an emergency, get caught on things that you could hide the fitness wearable in a boot or another part of your clothing. Thank you.
In your plan, you're assuming that you're going to customize an app for Apple and for Android. Is this kind of your plan in terms of the app in the wearable?
Correct.
How does your change management plan overcome some of the inertia to change you may face?
I think I have an appendix slide documenting that. But honestly, I don't know. Rather than digging in here, it starts at the top. So buy-in from senior leaders here today, from your position all the way down to the command. So when the commanding officer backs in and is excited about it, it trickles down to the divisions. But also a very important part of this is the indirect team that will be working with F3EA. So right now it's a collateral duty for physical fitness. So there's department members, division members all over each command that are responsible for running their physical fitness program as I described. Some of those members will be put on the indirect team and still be responsible to do that. Number one, it provides a diverse community for other sailors to turn around and look at and say, hey, if Kiana's doing this, if Jim's doing this, if Kelso's doing this, I can do it too, and they can answer their questions from the ground level of you know what it feels like to be in my position and have to tackle this.
How much product market fit did you perform, Jim? Did you speak to someone, let's say, in your area that you know is obese, that needs this kind of help, and what was the reaction of this person if you did?
So I know the reaction against the current system is very negative. The reaction to this system was positive with some reserves, mostly around like what kind of data would you like to capture? I go into this in the business plan, but it's like sleep data is very important to physical fitness. However, are you going to capture my sleep data, report it to my department head, and he's going to know I went to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning last night? So I think right now, I think everyone is mainly comfortable with the like strictly physical fitness, you know, heart rate, VO2 max, recovery rate, activity logged. And then I think as far as next steps or Act 2, it will be to incorporate more of that in a secure way that probably hides it from leadership, but also incorporates it into the activity.
So how do you differentiate what you're building with all the other items that you mentioned, such as Garmin and the other products that are on the market?
So I think one of the big differentiators is as far as physical fitness routines, as I mentioned in my presentation, that I can go to, like if I go to Peloton, I pick whatever I want to pick that day. Where F3EA will take your, you know, recent past history, your current physical fitness, and then also, you know, what you like to do, and then incorporate that into a program for you. Some applications do have programs, but it's pretty cookie cutter, set and stand. Like this is a 6-week boot camp. You're going to do this each day, where F3A will modify that as you go along. And then the biggest differentiation is the privacy. As I mentioned with Garmin, Space Force is trying to use it, is not giving it to deployed members because they're concerned about privacy. So I think if we own the app, we own the data, we restrict access to the data.
Hi, does this mean that you would also, in addition to owning the app and the data, not use any cloud services, or would you have your own sort of storage facility for whatever's offloaded from the app?
I can't go into cloud services or our own storage, but I know that it's all through the United States Navy. They have Navy Pacific Command has they have a research and development network already set up that's set up to hold secure or sensitive classified information.
Got it.
So doing that, but I can't speak to the cloud or if it's hardware.
I think that's your 5 minutes of questions, so thank you, Jim.
All right, thank you.